It's official. Elon Musk have been appointed to join President Trump's cabinet. So earlier this week, we obviously came online and said, you know what, this is what people are speculating in crypto, and this is what we are expecting. However, it was not official. So we speculated that Elon Musk and Vivek is actually going to be forming part of Trump's administration. And today, in fact, a few hours ago, it was actually made public that the, they will actually be forming part of the cabinet. This isn't too clear, but let me quickly share with you the update here. So let's see what they have to say. So the statement says, a statement from President Trump that was on the 12th. I am pleased to announce that the great Elon Musk, working in conjunction with American patriot Vivek Mesri, will lead the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, together. These two wonderful Americans will pave the way for my administration to dismantle government bureaucracy slash excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditure, and restructure federal agencies. So essential to the Save America movement, this will send shockwaves through the system, and anyone involved in government waste, which is a lot of people, stated Mr. Musk. So um, I will be, I will become potentially the Manhattan Project. It will become potentially the Manhattan Project of our time. Republican politicians have dreamed about the objective of Doge for a very long time. Now, obviously, there is a cryptocurrency named Doge, and people want to know, what does this mean for Doge? In fact, if we look at the charts, then we would actually see that Doge is actually up. What for the week? Doge is up 90%. Remember, do not be confused by the Department of Government Efficiency. Um, Obviously leading towards Doge, but it's important to actually understand what Doge actually really is in terms of the coin, and whether it has the potential to actually become the blockchain that will run government, etc. So please do not be confused in terms of those two. So here we can see that Doge is up 90% for the week. For the month, it is up 225%. For the year, it is up almost 400%. So let's take a closer look at Doge. So as we saw Bitcoin doing this, or when President Trump was elected, then we saw obviously Bitcoin going to the moon, and Doge did it even better. So let's go back here. So what I do expect for Doge is to go back to one. In fact, to go to $1. So that is my expectation. So that is basically the dream for a meme coin like Doge. So we almost got it right last bull run, but it did not happen. However, it stopped at 75 US dollar cents, and it was about, what is it, 30% away from to 5% away from there. But I definitely believe that by next year, or maybe even this year, we should actually see a Doge at $1. Um, So that is my expectation, not financial advice. Remember, this channel is all about sharing education and for entertainment purposes, and not and should not be regarded as financial advice. Now, is that would I bet the farm on it? Definitely not. Why not? So remember, a meme stays a meme, and it is not necessarily the crypto or that can actually run the world. So remember, America being a superpower. So it's important that you actually realize that, you know what? Yes, Doge is a fun project, but in terms of the tech that they need, I don't think it's Doge that is actually going to become the main blockchain which will actually be running crypto. Because remember, crypto is basically all about decentralization. So everything is centralized now, and it is when it is centralized, then there are specific human beings or specific organizations that actually controls, and that is what we in crypto actually want to get rid of. So at this point of time, Doge is not able to actually run like voting. Let's say we want, for instance, your medical records. It is being held by most probably by the institution that you are actually subscribed to. So let's say you're South African and your results is with a life hospital. So chances are that Netcare doesn't have access to your medical record. So life, it's almost like they're keeping you hostage. So you can actually always go to their hospitals throughout the country. They actually get to keep your money. But what if something were to happen to you and you are maybe outside of South Africa, or you are anywhere in the world, and they don't have access to your medical records? So because we want everything to actually be decentralized, at this point of time, the current system is not working, and Doge will not be able to provide that. But when it comes to Bitcoin, Bitcoin is too stupid to actually run this. And why do I say this? So I'm not saying Bitcoiners, I'm referring to the technology. The technology is not smart enough to actually be offering us decentralization, whereby your information, let's say your driver's license or your visa, it's actually controlled on the blockchain, so no one can steal it. And it is always with you. In fact, I found a way to make my license decentralized because I always have my phone with me, and if the camera is that good that I believe, then you will be able to see that my license is right here at the back of my phone, because I always have my phone with me. But I would always get fines because my license is never with me. But what if we find a blockchain that can actually allow us to have our proof of identity, our license, our medical records, and everything on a blockchain, which means it will be secure and no one will be able to tamper with it. And the best thing about it, it's decentralized, and no one controls it. So at this point of time, Bitcoin can't do it. So people are excited about the Department of Government Efficiency. In my opinion, I believe that yes, Doge maybe have a future in terms of where they could go. They could always actually relaunch it, and a smarter blockchain than what Doge at this point of time is. However, Bitcoin is obviously the first cryptocurrency, and it is the pioneer, and it's basically the most important. So at the end of the day, that is why we actually have all of the other cryptocurrencies. So what they obviously essentially do is they are building tech that allows to actually build decentralized um, systems. Now, but ideally, we would have wanted Bitcoin to actually provide that. Now, Solana brings their solution. All of the EVM blockchains, in fact, Ethereum and everything that stems from it in terms of BNB, all of those blockchains, they are basically working on finding solutions to the problems that this world is facing. Now, there are many other blockchains which are actually trying to achieve this goal. However, up until now, we are since 2009 up until now, we're like 15 years old in terms of cryptos. And yeah, we didn't necessarily find the one solution. However, something interesting actually popped up, and chances are that there is a blockchain that will actually be able to allow this. But before we add on to that, let's stay with this important news. So governments are actually in the process of buying cryptocurrencies in the millions. Some are buying in the billions. In fact, it's El Salvador. They are buying 1 Bitcoin on a daily basis. So they put out a goal also not too long ago, whereby they want to actually buy 1 million rands, 1 million US dollars worth of Bitcoins in a specific period. Trump also came out and said, you know what, we want to have at least 5% of all the cryptocurrencies, and it's going to be mined in America. So does this news, does it mean that it's necessarily Doge that is actually going to be running crypto? No, certainly not. Because yeah, we've got all of these smarter blockchains. So, but it is a fun project, and yeah, I own some Doge, but like I said, I wouldn't basically the farm on it or invest the farm on it. But yeah, I would definitely invest the farm in Bitcoin because yeah, even though Bitcoin is currently at like almost 90,000 US dollars, which is like close to 1.8 million rand, it still has the potential to 10x from year when these countries comes in. So Dennis Porter have been creating awareness, and have been speaking to multiple countries throughout the world, and he said that he's going to be making a big announcement, a major announcement for Bitcoin USA tomorrow, 5:15. So I'm looking forward to listening to this. I'm sure it's going to be a space. Space is basically where it's like a podcast on Twitter. So it's like a radio on Twitter. That's basically what Space is for those of you who are not on Twitter. So I'm looking forward to that. And he's been speaking to many countries. So in September, 2 months ago, he posted this. It's a great honor to receive the signing pen of the right to mine Bitcoin law from the governor of one of the most beautiful states in the nation. So governors are getting on board throughout America, and then also presidents are getting on board because they see that, you know what, the race to own the most cryptocurrency is on. Yes, gold is basically currently what is being used primarily, whereby countries are making secure that their financial or their currency is backed by something. However, when it comes to Bitcoin, Bitcoin has already surpassed the market cap of silver. So next, it would then obviously be gold. So, but now Bitcoin obviously has the limitation whereby it cannot provide decentralization. And that is why we have Ethereum, that is why we have Base, that is why we have all of these other blockchains, which actually provides this. So yeah, and as of recently, they basically we had development in this, and we for 15 years we had to rely on basically on certain organizations to be honest in order to actually provide this services and bring it to Bitcoin. However, what we want is to actually have a smart contract which no one controls. And yeah, so like now I listened to a podcast or a video not too long ago, and this person called up Department of Home Affairs, and he said, you know what, he actually called someone working there and said, you know what, I need a matric certificate. How much does it cost? The person says $3,000. He asked him, what grades are you going to give me? Say, must just give me which grade you want, and we'll print a legitimate matric certificate. That is how easy it is. That is how fraud actually happens. So we need decentralization, and unfortunately, up until now, Bitcoin could not provide that. So yes, it's been a work in the making, but I think we are actually having that solution, and I'm going to share with you. Yeah, so all of these blockchains have been spending, or all of these teams have been spending years on the technology. Now, someone asked me, in fact, I had a conversation with my good friend Regan this morning, and he said, you know what, the worst person to actually have as a client, or the worst investor, is the person who doesn't know how the market works. So we don't want people to actually be investing into anything out there and not know how the market works. Because if you buy, you can buy the best house, but if you buy it in a bad suburb, then chances are that you're not going to get back your money. So you need to have knowledge about the industry. Likewise, when it comes to anything that you actually invest into, and that is what this channel is about. So we share our experience, and you don't want to actually be the person to just read a headline and see Doge and think that, you know what, Doge is going to take over everything. Is going to make out a big is going to actually be here until the end of time. Maybe it has a big role to play in the future of cryptocurrencies. However, we need solid solutions. So this person could just fraudulently get a matric certificate. Others who care what they put in their body. So look at the retail, for instance. So food, we don't know where the food comes from. So we have foreigners in our country who sometimes use stuff that shouldn't be in the food. So what if it was decentralized and you could actually see when this was planted, where it was planted, and you can see the entire supply chain up until the product gets to you. So you obviously want that to be run on the blockchain, which cannot be tampered with, and then you know what you're actually putting in your body. Maybe when it comes to the clothing that you are wearing, maybe you want the original from the source, because at the end of the day, these days, you almost don't know whether you're buying fake, whether you're buying legit stuff, etc. So this touches each and every industry out there. So whether it is music, so we need to be able to prove the legitimacy of something. So that is why we need decentralization. But up until now, Bitcoin did not have it. But on this call, I'm going to share with you one blockchain that I believe has cracked it, and actually will be able to provide that. And it is not far off. And that is why I believe that this specific cryptocurrency went up like what? Almost almost 100% within a matter of weeks. So Minton is basically an exchange whereby you can trade all of the native tokens on Cardano. So this is what they MinSwap, what they actually announced the other day. So breaking news, it's over for Ethereum and layer 2. So remember, if we go to CoinGecko, if you go to CoinGecko, you can see there are 15,000, more than 15,000 cryptocurrencies. So we have Bitcoin, who is actually responsible for 57% of the market. So it's controlling 1.73 trillion. So Ethereum is controlling 12%. But remember, they are all working on solutions to that actually Bitcoin is not able to solve, which is decentralization. However, up until now, they had to rely on specific organizations, to be honest, and actually in order to provide that services on blockchain, on Bitcoin. I know this is a bit over some people's heads, but yeah, it is definitely worth understanding, because you don't want to be the person that actually gets into an industry without knowing what you're actually getting into. So these top 10 are basically the top 10 in the races to actually bring the solution. So Solana and all of them have basically the limitations. So at the end of the day, Ethereum has limitations. This is just Tether is basically just a stable coin. So if you don't want to, if you expect Bitcoin to go down but you don't want to convert it into hands, you can just convert it into a cryptocurrency called Tether, because it stays stable. It equals a US dollar. So, but BNB has also been bringing some great solutions to blockchain. Dogecoin, obviously being a meme coin, and haven't actually built anything significant since its existence. So this is basically a meme. And XRP has obviously been working hard in order to be able to provide the solutions, cross-border payments, etc. USDC is also a stable coin. Cardano being number 10. Then we also have Tron. Sorry. My daughter actually asked me this morning when we dropped them at school. She said, "Daddy," because I was going to do a Facebook Live. So then she asked me, "Daddy, were you ever on a Facebook Live and sneeze?" Because we actually have a problem where we sneeze extremely loud. I can just imagine what it sounded like on this mic. It's so close to my mouth as well. So please do forgive me. But yeah, so she asked me this morning, and I told her I don't think it ever happened. And yeah, it happens today. But hopefully it wasn't too loud. So yeah, we have different blockchains that are working on providing that solution. So I can still remember in the early days, then Cardano worked closely with New Balance in order to make sure that people are able to see when they buy their brand, they will be able to see where it came from and who made it, and the legitimacy of it. They're also working with many African countries, and now it seems like it has taken a leap forward, whereby the founder of Cardano is actually in conversation with the US government, which is about to step in order to actually provide these services or this technology. So let me bring up all of these. So it says Cardano enables for the first time true rollups that inherit the full security of the layer 1. So remember, Bitcoin is secure, and that is why people are actually spending multi-millions and billions on mining Bitcoin. So when you mine Bitcoin, you are actually adding to the network, and then whatever transaction happens, no one can take it back. etc. Once it's done, it's final, because everyone mining Bitcoin throughout the world, they are owning big data centers, and the more data centers they own, the more secure Bitcoin is. So Bitcoin is the most secure cryptocurrency. However, it lacks the ability to actually have decentralization. However, with this solution, which basically Cardano, they've taken much longer than your normal blockchain in order to actually be building and providing the solutions. Because let's face it, as I'm not a coder, but it is much easier to actually code Java and all of these languages that have been in existence for many years. However, it is not that easy to be coding in Haskell. Haskell is basically, it's almost like your true maths, and then Java and Python is almost like, let's say, biology in grade 2. Yeah, so I don't even think that we do biology in grade 2, but yeah, you guys get the idea. So before, when the internet came out, then we only had, for instance, I can't remember what the first language is, and everything was like in blocks, etc. And then things couldn't move, etc. But then when they brought out JavaScript, which formed us so we could actually have fun websites, etc., and things could move, so we could do more on the internet. So that is basically what Cardano does for Bitcoin. So, and now we don't have to rely on our institutions on their honesty, but it can actually run on its own. So does this news mean that Doge is going to make it to the moon, or Doge is going to go to 50,000 US dollars from where it is now? I highly doubt that. But remember, crypto is not only about just investing into hype. It is, and that is why we take the time on this channel to share what these projects stand for, what they are basically standing for, what they are building, etc. So let me just give some recognition here. Hussein said, "Good morning, Uncle Lucy." I think that's my good friend Zaid. So Duncan, good morning. Basil is also here. Good morning, fam. And Maurice says, "Hi, everyone." So oh yeah, I felt the earth move when that sneeze. Oh yes, I actually had to go to school and inform the teachers. You know what? When my children sneeze, it's not like they are trying to be a class clown. Yeah, so they don't get into trouble. So the teacher knows in advance. Because just imagine how often I would get into trouble when it is exams and the class is quiet and there I sneeze. So yeah, yeah. So I don't know what it is, but obviously it's something that we can't control. And even if I control it, and in order to sneeze a bit softer, then it hurts me. So I would rather have it come out than hurt myself. So Jolene, Yolandi also said good morning. Family, thank you so much for tuning in. Please, as we are moving forward in this bull run, so many more testimonials. There are many that are on the stream that were able to generate tens of thousands, some hundreds of thousands. I saw some in the stream that have generated even 2 million. So it's important that even people that you don't think who is interested in crypto, they are most probably secretly looking at it, etc. So it's important that you share this stream so people can start following, and they can actually learn before they actually want to expose themselves. So what this channel is about is basically just me explaining news that I see in the market, and how I interpret it. So the reason why there are for instance, there are many religions, and even some religions, then they still differ in the very same religions. You have organizations that differ from one another. It is the interpretation of the message. So whether it is Christianity, whether it is when it comes to Islam, whether it is Buddhism, etc., because there are some uh, in Islam that believe that I can blow myself up and I may get myself a place in heaven. And there are others that know and believe, no, that's not the case. So it is basically just what is standing there and the interpretation of it. So likewise, news comes out. These writers, they know how to write. They say things without saying it. So you need to, and this is what I've learned over the years. So even though 100% of people that are in crypto, they basically they've had the same news, but it's less than 5% that are actually really making money. Because 95% of them, they read the same news, but they don't know how to interpret it correctly. So and that could easily be seen as financial advice. However, I'm not sharing financial advice, but I'm basically sharing what I'm reading into, what I'm reading, because yeah, we've I've been here almost 10 years, so I'm just basically sharing my eye for it. So family, thank you so much for tuning in. Please do subscribe, please do share, and yeah, have others also basically enjoy in the fun that we are having at this point in time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm out.